And done. Hey guys, Nerd here. As you can see, I'm currently sitting at my normal PC gaming and streaming rig because I just got playing a little bit of EFT and raging a little bit. What? You didn't know I stream? Well, you can come catch me at Twitch at twitch.tv/nerddoingstuff. You can watch amazing gameplay like this and hang out and enjoy the video games. But sometimes I don't want to have to play serious internet spaceships or other serious computer games, but I want to go have a beer, sit on the couch, and experience the nostalgia of some old console games. Welcome to the nerds. So this, well, not this mess over here, but this mess over here is the leftover remnants of a really cool old bachelor pad setup I had, and all the old consoles I used to play on back before I really got into the PC Master Race. So what we're going to do here is we're going to finally hook up some of my old consoles here and set ourselves up with a pretty sweet streaming setup for PC gaming. And we're going to bring you along and show you how to do it too. So let's get to it. Nerd alert. Now the setup for a console stream is pretty basic, actually. For most modern consoles, you have your console. This is my old Gamecube, representing any console. You have a capture card. This is the box from my 4K 60 Pro that's in my streaming rig right now. And you have a monitor. In this case, this is a portable 15-inch monitor that hopefully we'll use later on in this build. But this is going to be a monitor or a TV, or this is where you're going to actually look at your game and play on the game. For most modern consoles, it's pretty easy to set up a streaming setup here. All you have to do is take your console, hook it up to your capture card. Typically that'll be with an HDMI cable, and then use your capture card's pass-through to hook that video signal up to your TV or monitor here. And what the pass-through does is it basically lets your streaming setup record and or send your video out and do whatever it needs to do without interrupting the video stream to your actual console that you are playing on, or your TV that you're playing on, or what have you. Now for something like the Gamecube or my Nintendo 64, this becomes a little more complicated because most of those didn't come with an HDMI out port like modern Xboxes and PlayStation 4s and Nintendo DS's or whatever it is that the Nintendo console is nowadays. No, they came with this cable. I don't know if you know what this cable is. This is a component cable. And this comes out of the back. But obviously, this doesn't hook into this. So, for older setups, like most of mine, you're going to need an adapter piece. This is or an AV to HDMI adapter. So this now becomes this. This goes into this adapter, which goes into your HDMI, which goes into your capture card, which then sends video to your TV or monitor. That's the basic setup here. Our setup's going to be a little bit different. Well, because I want it to be a little bit more usable than something like this. So our setup, we're trying to solve a couple things. One of them is I'm not sitting next to my computer or in my computer chair when I'm gaming. On my consoles, I'm going to be sitting on this couch right here. So instead of just running everything straight to the capture card, what I'm going to do is actually run an HDMI splitter. So, for those of you paying attention, we'll take this off so it's a little bit easier to see. What happens here is stuff comes out of my Gamecube in the component stuff that most of you under the age of like 25 have never seen before in your life. Okay. Goes into the adapter, which turns into an HDMI signal. HDMI signal goes into an HDMI splitter. First HDMI signal goes out to our monitor again. Second HDMI signal goes to our capture card here. Why do we do that? Well, most capture cards have to be turned on and have to have the computer they're sending to running in order to pass through signals. If we run a splitter like this, I don't necessarily have to have my computer on, or I could have it on to something else, or have my gaming PC hooked up to my streaming computer, and not have to worry about swapping cables so much if I just want to play video games and hang out and have a good time. So we're going to add a splitter here. Now this gets a little more complex when we add a second console. For sake of argument, let's say we're adding my Nintendo 64 here. This is an older console, so yet again, it has your component set up. You have another AV to HDMI, but most splitters only take one input and give two outputs. So my choices here would be go in here, have two cables run and swap them or swap them around, but that's far too much effort for me to go through because I am far too lazy for that. So instead, what we're going to do, hopefully, is add an HDMI switch in here. So, I keep running out of HDMI cables. Hold on, we gotta get a bigger one. So what happens here is we have two consoles. We have all the adapters to get them to HDMI. They go into the back of this this is a something or other. I'll leave the links for all this equipment that I'm talking about down below. It goes into a 4-to-1 HDMI switch. That switch goes out to our HDMI splitter, which splits the signal between our capture card and our TV or monitor, TV in my case. And because this has 4 of them, we can actually add my Xbox and my Xbox 360, and I don't have to change any cables other than one cable here if I'm going to go streaming to actually stream and record our gaming up here on the console. Now for my specific setup, the HDMI splitter has another benefit for me. So if you look over to your left here, there's a receiver there, and that receiver runs the surround sound. You can see one of the speakers kind of right here, and I got a full surround sound system set up down here, which is fun because I like it for movies and gaming that supports it and everything like that. But if I run something through the receiver there, it'll mess with the audio file, and I don't really want to have to deal with a mess with audio file coming out of the receiver when I can get a straight audio file from the game, from our console here, from our, our Gamecube or our N64 or the Xboxes that are over there. If I can get a straight clean signal out of those into the streaming PC. So the HDMI splitter also, not only does it split the video, but it also splits the audio so that I can get a clean signal out from these things to the streaming PC while also leaving open the options for my own personal enjoyment outside of streaming when I want to use the surround sound and enjoy it more as a home theater than as a streaming and interaction setup. So that is also a benefit of using a splitter in this case. Maybe if you're also listening, if you're doing like a computer setup or something like that, the splitter may be not necessary because you're not trying to accomplish so many things at once with the same setup. So now that I've thoroughly gotten myself disorganized from where I was not more than 5 minutes ago, it's time for me to try and throw all of this together and check out that it works before we go with the next phase, which is making this a really good streaming setup. And we'll talk about making this more streamer friendly after I connect all the parts here. You hear that glorious music right there? That's success number 1. We've got everything hooked up and it's actually displaying on our TV over here, which is nice. You can see going behind me right now, we'll turn down the music now that we've made the intro. On the screen right now behind me is a GameCube game, Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2. I spent many hours playing this game way back when this thing was like actually a new console. But if we go through here, we have our third input. I apparently have to go mess with the clock on our Xbox here. Our fourth input, which is our Xbox 360. I think I've got Halo 4 in there right now, if I'm reading that correctly. And then I'm going to go really, really old school here. Nintendo 64. We got Super Smash Bros. In there right now to kind of display what we're doing. And it looks like everything switches nicely. There's sound, if you want to get the old nostalgia sound. Oh yeah, right? Right? So, that's step one. So now everything's hooked up, transmitting properly. Now we've got to deal with streaming setup. And our Joseph is coming in to set up. Which means we have another small demonstration. So now we've got to talk about the special sauce that makes this an actual streaming setup, not just a setup that I can record some gameplay on. And what really makes the difference is the ability to interact with your stream. Now, when I'm streaming, even on my streaming rig, oftentimes I'm using my phone to watch chat as well, just because I don't necessarily want to keep looking up and down and stuff like that. Although I watch both. But over here I pretty much only have my chat on my phone, which is not bad. I can interact with the chat and have conversations with them and all that jazz here. But if I have to do anything with my stream or administrate in any way, well, that guy's being a dick. Better ban him. Ugh. Yeah, exactly. And I'm far too lazy, and that's far too much effort if I have to go add in or change anything for me to really think this setup is good. So now we bring in the special sauce. So, what could make the interaction better? As you saw, that's quite a distance between me sitting here playing video games and me going over to my computer. Even if I swap the monitor around up top, I really can't read chat or really use the computer in any real way. So the solution is to bring another monitor over here. And we're going to do a cool wireless HDMI setup, because I used to have this set up at my own home theater and I have a bunch of the parts laying around, so I might as well do it. The heart of this is the previous little mobile monitor that you guys saw. So the idea is I can sit here and have the monitor up and bring over like a wireless keyboard or something like that that's hooked up to my streaming PC, and have my streaming, all the information up there, so I can change if I change games, or if I want to, you know, take a break so I can change scenes. I can do all that stuff without getting up and going over there. And we do that with these. So this specific setup is the Nyrus Aries Prime. So it's a wireless HDMI setup. So this side gets plugged into your source and powered, and then transmits that HDMI to your receiver here, which we then plug into our monitor. And so what that does is I can be sitting here, you know, gaming it up. Let's go grab this. I can be sitting here playing Super Smash Brothers. You know, let's go some one-player mode, right? And I can have everything over here, and then I bring over my wireless keyboard, which is not over here right now because planning is hard. And I'm like, okay, we're playing Super Smash Brothers, one player, you know, all the way through, or one player career mode or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember what Super Smash Brothers even had. It's been so long. But we're like, oh, one player game mode, Super Smash Brothers, let's go. Put that on stream. If I got to ban someone, I can ban someone. All that sort of stuff. And I have that monitor right here. And then I can just leave it over there and have my drinks and have the normal interaction that I would have in chat in my major, huge streaming rig set up over there, but sitting on my couch having a beer, playing some old school console games. And with a few more minutes of fiddling, we got it. So you can see we got Star Wars Rogue Squadron going on up there, and that is mirrored right down in here. This is my actual, you know, Streamlabs OBS, Stream Elements, whichever one I'm using. This is my OBS settings right now. It does have my computer settings on it, so like the things like the actual face cam, which is probably the camera that's filming this video, are not on there. But I now have the full interface, and I can use my little wireless doodad here to interact with everything. And just to check, right now we're on the Gamecube. Let's go throw it over to the N64, and ta-da! Everything works, everything transitions, it's good. So we have ourselves an actual streaming setup where I can be across the room from my streaming computer to my streaming location and interact just fine and have access to all of my computer stuff while streaming on a console. So this is actually pretty exciting and pretty cool. So it's a few little things to take care of, the aforementioned camera problem, and I got to get the lights over here situated for streaming better, but hopefully you guys will see some videos and streams soon with this new setup. So that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. Links to products that still exist, because some of these are pretty old, are in the description down below. And come see us on Twitch when we're streaming maybe some console stuff here pretty soon, as well as computers and everything else nerd related. So I'm the head nerd here. To everyone out here watching, happy nerding. Catch y'all later. I haven't played this game in forever.